of quorum, Chair Yalamanchili.
Senator Herrera. Absent. Senator Trainer. Okay, present. Senator Ebay. Absent. Okay. Chair Kenna.
Present.
D. Like Morissette.
Present.
Chair Temple. Okay. He's here. Chair Bishop. Okay. Senator Caringo.
Present.
Chair Datlas. Okay. Chair Butler.
She's here.
Senator DeCara.
DeCara.
That's me. Sorry. I think.
I am sorry about that. Okay, so Senator DeCara is here.
Present.
Okay. Chair Campbell.
Present.
Senator Cantrell. Absent. Okay. Senator Castillo. Absent. Senator Fintel. Absent, I guess. Okay. Senator Hamid.
Here.
Senator Larson.
Here.
Senator Moore. Absent. Senator Rose. Absent. Senator Brown. Chair Semillo.
She's here. She's here. She just accidentally left on accident and tried
Okay.
to get back in.
Senator Herman.
Here.
Senator Nadella. Absent.
He's here.
Oh.
I don't know why we can't hear him.
Okay. Senator
Rose said they're here, but Mike isn't working.
Okay. Senator Patel.
Here.
Okay. I am here. Senator Luthra. Absent. Senator Yusufari. Absent. Senator Acosta.
Present.
Chair Borges,
He's here.
Here.
Yeah.
okay. Senator Duke,
Here.
Senator Hockfelder, absent. Speaker Holmes,
Present.
Chair Hurst,
Present.
Senator Kazay,
Here.
Senator Lacasse, absent. Senator Patel,
Here.
Senator Pullman,
Here.
Senator Richmond,
Here.
Senator Sandlin,
Present.
Senator Rivera,
Here.
Pro Temp DeMarla, absent.
Here.
She's here.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It's okay.
Deezer Mittal,
Absent.
absent. Okay, thank you. With 28 out of 43, I believe quorum is verified.
Thank you. Approval of, we're good? Okay. Approval of the minutes. Take a look at last meeting's minutes, and then I'll take a motion. Chair Hurst.
Motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
There's been a motion to approve last meeting's minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, last meeting's minutes stand approved. Approval of the agenda. Take a look at today's agenda, and I'll take a motion. Hurst.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Sorry, you beat Ethan. There's been a motion to approve today's agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing none. Open forum. Are there any non-senators wishing to speak during open forum? Seeing none. Announcements from the student body president, Brandon Greenaway.
Hello, everyone in front of me and everyone on screen. I hope you could see me. I hope everyone is doing well. So it has been a busy 2 weeks. I kind of want to fill you in on some of the things that have been going on. So last week I had my BOT orientation, which basically was just kind of a rundown of a lot of the processes that go on within the university, whether that's academic, strategic partnerships, things like that. And today I actually attended the BOT retreat. So it was an opportunity for the BOT. The purpose of the retreat was really for them to, talk about like what went well in the past and things they want to improve in the future. So I thought that was a really good, experience for me to kind of understand, what's been going on in the board and kind of what their goals are for the future. We also had Colby and I had a meeting with Sarah and Akila, which I thought went really well, discussing just ways we can collaborate this year and work together. We're really, really looking forward to cross collaboration this year. Colby and I also attended the John C. Hitt Celebration of Life last Monday, which was a really, really nice ceremony. I recommend, I think if you search, John C. Hitt UCF, there's a video that they made that kind of just shows a lot of his highlights that he's done during his 26 years when he was president. And it really is insane. UCF really is the way that it is today because of, a lot of things that he's done. So I encourage you all to check that out. And then lastly, I have a few appointments to make. So I hereby appoint the following positions. Chief of Staff, Jennifer Sabrino. Deputy Chief of Staff, Peter Pham. Attorney General, Madison Moore. Comptroller, Jeremy Kane. Director of Student Affairs, Brianna Urea, Academic Affairs Coordinator, Lucy Blanco, Athletics Coordinator, Elijah Leb, Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator, Roshna Trugale, Governmental Affairs Coordinator, Brooke Martin, Safety and Transportation Coordinator, Christina Cabrera, Sustainability and Innovation Coordinator, Sydney Burge, Director of Communications, Moira Martinez, Digital Media Coordinator, Jerry Benitez, and Graphic Design Coordinator, Anna Valak. They'll all be going through confirmations over the next few weeks, and they're really excited to have the opportunity to present in front of you all. So those are all my announcements. Thank you so much.
Are there any questions for President Greenaway? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Announcements from the student body vice president, Colby Smith.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great summer. My announcements is the past 2 weeks has been really busy. We've had just introduction meetings with campus partners. Last thing is I'm excited to work with you guys and collaborate, and let's make this year amazing. That is it.
Are there any questions for Vice President Smith? Seeing none, thank you. Give me 1 second. I need to send something in the chat. Senator Brown. You can just say present and voting once you get connected. I don't think she hears us, but we'll have her raise her hand later. Okay. Okay, Senator Brown.
Alert from Google Chrome Helper. Alerts. Coming May 20.
Okay. Brody, can I just put her present or voting, or will I have to just wait? Okay. Senator Brown present and voting at 6:16 p.m. Senator Hochfelder.
Present voting.
So noted at 6:16 p.m. All right. Thank y'all for your patience with this. This is our first time using Teams video for this. Okay. Where are we now? Comptroller's report, none. Attorney General's report, none. Cabinet Forum, none. Announcements from Interim Chief Justice, none. Announcements from the Pro Tempore DeMarla.
You can run through all the cabinet announcements because they're all vacant, and then I had a motion.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, where? Okay, announcements from Supervisor of Elections, announcements from the activity insert. Oh wait, none. Announcements from the activity and service fee, none. Announcements from the Scholarship Committee Chair, none. Pro Tempore DeMarla.
Motion to move to resolution 5501 on third reading.
There's been a motion to see. Sorry, I'm sorry, I need to go all the way down. To see Resolution 5501 on third reading. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. I'll take a motion. Is there a motion for, Chair Temple?
Not sure if you can hear me, but move for 7 minutes speeches, 7-minute questioning, 7-minute debate.
There's been a motion for 7-minute speeches, 7-minute questioning, and 7-minute debate. Are there any objections? Pro Tempore DeMarla? Do you withdraw, Chair Temple?
I do.
Yeah, Pro Tempore DeMarla.
Maybe like 10-minute speech, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate, just because I invited the deans here, so I don't want to limit their time for questioning or debate or anything like that.
All right. There's been a motion for, Chair Temple? Sorry, there wasn't a motion. My bad. Chair Temple?
Yep, move for 10-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate.
There's been a motion for 10-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Pro Tempore DeMarla, do you want to yield your time?
Yes, I'll yield to the deans. So gracious of them to come and join and present for us today.
Awesome. You can
So
come on up, Paul. Thank you for being here. All right, 10 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay, I think we're gonna play a video first.
Awesome.
That just kind of gives you an idea of what we're trying to look at this project differently. We're building a building, but if you notice, there's no building in there until the very last 2 seconds of this video. The idea is that we're presenting something different and unusual. I don't know how many people were here when we presented last fall, but we'll go through the slides and then I'll try and go through them quicker. Sorry, is that better? Sorry, I thought I was hearing myself, so I thought it was okay. So what we can do, let me see if I can trigger them. No. Brody, I'll just ask you to do that then. All right. So I'll tell you what, for time's sake, we'll go on a little bit farther. What has happened with us is that we were going to build a building 10 years ago as part of the second phase of the first, the theater and the music buildings that are there right now. And the dean has often said how happy he was that we were unable to do that building. This is what this is in reference to, because we would have built a traditional theater, traditional music venues, and instead we've taken it to an immersive space. Go ahead. I'm gonna move you through fast because this will take a half hour otherwise. And I don't want to do that either. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a space that's more about teaching and learning in the space. So before, what we were all thinking about was the presentation. If you go down to Dr. Phillips Center, you walk in there, you have no idea how the lights and everything has happened. The idea here is that the students are putting together all of this. Go ahead. 3D mapping is one of the things that I taught last fall. And it's an idea that is stretching into theater and music, projection, all of this kind of thing that's not your typical flats and platforms. So we've decided that we're going to do an immersive space, and it's basically, go ahead. Why don't we jump, I'm going to jump you ahead a couple more. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, back up one slide. This one is kind of what we did is we did a test run on the idea that we're doing. We have the orchestra playing. This is at Dr. Phillips Center. We have the orchestra playing, and you see a screen behind them with a projection. We had people, this was kind of a test for us. We had people up in the balcony that had AR glasses on, and they were able to see like an actual whale flying through the Dr. Phillips Steinmetz Hall. It was a good test because we could see some of the things that we'll be able to do in this new space. It takes a lot of creativity, a lot of time and energy to do these kind of events, but you can see what everybody else saw, except the 10 or 15 people that we had with AR who actually see the whale in the building. It's kind of unusual. Okay, let's jump a little bit. One of the things that we're trying to do, you can even jump further ahead. This is a good example. We have, we're basically seeing ourselves as a workforce. We have 1,000 students in our program. There's more than that. It could take all the minors that come into the program and dance, the marching band, all the other different aspects of it. We're trying to put a space together that's in the future. Well, we live in Orlando, and what's happened is that a lot of people are coming to Orlando. PPAV is one of the highest equipment rental design companies, and they've moved their headquarters to Orlando. IAPA is the head themed experience program. They've moved their headquarters to Orlando. So Orlando is without question going to be the spot for themed entertainment, live entertainment. It's where it's coming to, and we're here. We've been doing traditional theater for a long time, and our dean is currently looking to make it a bit different. It's going to be technology driven. Okay, go ahead. You can keep going. We've been talking to other people, even one more, about talking to some of the science people out on the science force or out on the Florida coast. And they're talking about how this is an asset for them because they need spaces where they can use it for training for some of the science. They have, we've been going after the Space Force has been going after space and getting contracts from the federal government for a space force. And what's happened is we lost one of them that went to Alabama, I think it was. Denver's pushing really hard to take the next one, and we want to bring one of those into us. And the Space Coast has said how this will truly help because we'll be able to take unusual spaces and allow them to put unusual things in them. I'm going to show you some more as we get going. So keep going. Where we are right now, that's fine. That's good. Where we are right now is we've got $2 million from CITF, Capital Improvement Trust Fund, which is you guys all put money into that. It's what builds the student center. It's what builds the health center. $2 million of that came to us to put together the program, what it's going to be, and the design. So now we've done that. We've gone through the architects. We have construction managers hired. We've gone through the process of designing everything we need to design short of construction drawings. And that's where all the wires go and where all the pipes go. But the layout, advanced schematics is all done. So we're at a point now where we're shifting over to fundraising. And so now we've done a lot of inside work with our internal board of trustees. Even the board of governors has given us the approval to do this project, to take it and advance it. So we've done that. Now we've got to do it externally. We've hired a branding and marketing company called Ann Barr, and they're going to be doing branding for us and helping us to get out to the sales and fundraising. So anybody wants to throw $5 into the pot, you're welcome to do that. Okay, let's keep going. We'll see. I'm going to get you to the actual drawing. So let's keep going. There you go. So in case you're not familiar with where this is, the two kind of charcoaly brown spots where it says music building and theater building, those exist now. That's about 75,000 square feet of space. And then the lighter brown, kind of chocolatey, that's the new space. That's 122,000 square feet and has basically an internal space that's like a sound stage. If you don't know what that is, it's like what they do theater or movies and TVs and all that. It's completely open, almost the size of a football field, concrete floor and girders at the top. And then you bring in anything that you're going to do and make a presentation inside that space. Well, it sounds kind of rough, but the reality is what you end up with is a very versatile space. You can do anything you want with that space, and that was the idea. That's what the dean's goal was. When he brought me in, I had worked on the first phase of this project, and we had designed the other two theater spaces. Then he brought me in and talked to me about this.
1
space. He
minute
says,
left.
I want you to go ahead and move forward with this. And he told me the concept, and I thought, no, you're good. Go ahead. But he told me the concept, and I thought it was very unusual. And I got on board quickly because it's so different that there's hardly anything in America or in the world that's like this for a theater space. So you can see that on the first floor on the left side, that kind of a purpley color, that's the theater stages and all of the rooms. Then the yellow section at the lobby that wraps around it. The lobby is big enough for us to do actual conferences and gaming competitions, robotic competitions, conferences for all the different things on campus as well. And the space inside is big enough and you can divide it into multiple spaces. Almost like the convention center or hotel ballroom might do.
Okay, we're going to extend your time 1 second. Pro Tempore DeMarla.
Sorry, I should have not gone for 10 minutes in the beginning. Just can we extend their time to unlimited? For a
Yes.
speech?
I mean, I can't do that. Sorry. Is there a motion? Hurst?
Motion to extend time to unlimited.
There's been a motion to extend time to unlimited. Are there any objections? Seeing none. Go ahead. You can
I'll be very
continue.
fast.
Yeah.
When you're looking at this, this section shows you how it divides up from different spaces, how the theater side on the left side has the highest spark for fly. If you've ever done theater pieces that come in and go out, that happens on the most west side of the building or north side of the building. Then the next section down is for anything that you want to do in a ballroom kind of space. And then the other one had to be built up a little bit higher for concerts and music events. Okay, you can go ahead and go to the next slide. You might as well go past one. Yeah, there we go. So this just gives you an idea what it looks like if you're looking at it from the top view and cut into different spaces. And we asked the architects to put together multiple settings so we can, all these seating pieces, all of the riser pieces, they all move and they get repositioned and they're all hydraulics and electronics. So you don't, it's not like people moving chairs, like you move a whole unit into place, hit a button and it rolls out into a really nice seating configuration. Okay, go ahead. That's just a section view of the same thing you were just looking at. Go ahead. And then when all those pieces get folded up, they go off into the sides, and that becomes a large open space from 280 feet from one end to the other end. So you're almost a football field. It's a large space for us to do anything like one of the deans talked about teaching drone flying inside the space. We thought, well, we hadn't thought of that, but it certainly could happen. It would work well. Other deans have come up with many different ideas for how they would use it for triage in medicine, health sciences. Okay, let's go. This is other seating for it. Let's keep going and I'll show you. So what we wanted the architects to do is to really massage this in every different direction so we could have any kind of setup that we wanted to have. Go ahead. This is the gaming competition I was talking about earlier. I can't see it very well, but I hope you guys can. It takes 2/3 of that space, and we can bring anything in and out of it that we want to. So this would be a very simple thing to do in the space that we have because we're going to run infrastructure through the whole space. So when you look up, you wouldn't see a nice finished ceiling like this. You'd see catwalks and where they got wires and hanging. Then we take the lights out, you can't see that anymore, and you see something like this. Go ahead to the next one. So this converts into a theater stage as well. Keep going. And you get some pictures of the lobby. Go one more, and then one more. That's the exterior of the building as you're driving in off of Alafaya, and then one more will be coming up Gemini.
Nice.
Okay, so one more, and that's it. I'm sorry it took so long. This is actually intended to be a longer thing, and the dean's much more smooth with it. He does this all the time, but he wasn't able to be here today. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Are there any questions? Are people on Zoom? Are people on Zoom? Do I sound choppy? Temple?
To give a verbal answer, no, Madam Speaker, you don't sound choppy, but may I ask, I guess, one question?
Yes, you may.
Right. To the dean, I don't know if I'm referring to, but good evening. My question for you is, who do you intend to approach regarding on and off campus support? I'm not quite sure if I was able to hear that over the over, online.
If I understood that right, you're asking where the fundraising would come from?
He asked, are you asking where the fundraising would come from?
To clarify, I read on one of the slides that they were looking for support when they approached the Board of Governors and Florida Legislature. I'm just curious as to who they're reaching out to.
Oh, specifically, I really can't tell you that. I'm not sure who that would be. Right now, our board is different than what we had when we pushed this thing through 2 or maybe 3 years ago. So I can't tell you the names of the people, if that's what you're asking.
I'm so sorry. If you could actually just sit down in that seat right there and use that.
There's a mic here.
I have no idea to sit down.
This one works?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sit there and press that button.
Okay, how's that?
Perfect.
So it's hard for me to tell you which of the actual people that we're being talked to.
He can hear you. All right. Are there any other questions for the associate dean or assistant dean? correct?
Assistant dean.
Assistant dean.
And Paul is fine.
Hers.
I have a difficult last
Paul?
name, so Paul works fine.
Hi, Paul. So you're saying that you have this whole project. How long do you think it would take to actually do this whole thing? How long? How many years?
Well, if we had the money today, it would take 3 years. So we could, I mean, it's not, we've gone far enough along now. We've done a lot of the work already. We know where all the pipes are going to go under the ground. We know all of that. So it takes us 1 more year, maybe not even a whole year, to put the rest of the drawings together where all the pipes go inside the building. And then maybe 2 years to actually build it.
Are there any other questions for Paul? Daedalus?
Hi, I don't know if you can hear me. I love the presentation. I love the idea of the upgrade, I guess you could call it. I just wanted to know, how would parking be in that area, since based on the design, it's looking like it's taking up a portion of that parking area. So I was just curious to know what the parking would be.
It
With
will
the
be
building.
taken up. Do you still have the slides there available? If not, it's okay. If you go back to one of the drawings, I can show you where the building is. But the idea when we built the first phase, we built Garage H. And Garage H was to take over all the lost parking where we are now, where the 2 buildings are now, and where the new building was supposed to go. Now, that was 10 years ago. So now the building, they tell us, still has enough parking ability in H to cover the ones that we're going to be losing by taking out some of the spaces. But there also is a building, a transient parking garage that they're talking about putting it up in the front, right next to Alafaya. So cars will be parking right there and coming into the campus that way. So the parking is an issue, but it's being dealt with. Also, the parking at night would be in Garage H. It is right there. You're 100 feet away from the building. You'd be able to walk across from that parking spot. So if you can, it's hard for me to tell you where it is, but it is taking up all of the parking spots that are from Gemini back to halfway behind the theater building and all the way behind the music building. It's about 180, 200 parking spots, I think. But it's more than compensated in H, and it will probably also be compensated by the new garage that would be going up in front.
Morsa?
Hi, Paul. I know you said you received about $2 million already for the R&D phase. How much, and I know you said you're fundraising right now, how much exactly would you estimate, if you have an estimate, you would need for the actual construction of the building?
Right now, we would need $86.4 million to build the building. It has a 6% construction cost add-on for every year that we go. So if we build the building, what happens is we know that next year when we finally sign a contract, or the year after, it's going to be 6% or 12% higher than it is now. We think that we'll be in the position to do that, and when it's about $100 million. So it's like $102 million. For that, we would need to raise $20 million in order to go to the state and ask for the rest of the money. So it's $100 million, $20 million that we're going to do in fundraising. We're also going to do $5 million in fundraising in addition to the 20, because it's going to be a very high-tech building, and it's going to be unlike a math building, where you can just continues to build. We're going to be turning over technology constantly in the building. So we're going to do an additional $5 million raise in foundation so that we can have equipment renewed every year, different kinds of equipment. So that's pretty much it. Do you need any other money? No. Okay.
Are there any other questions for Paul? Seeing none, we are now our Hearst.
Motion to go to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Sorry, Ethan. Seeing none, we are now in debate. Yalamanchili.
So I don't see why you would not support this resolution. UCF is known as a predominantly STEM university. We're known for computer science programs. We're known for aerospace engineering. And I believe that it's a great idea to give other fields the attention they need. And I'm sure that if the Center for Innovation in Arts and Entertainment would be built, it would serve as something that would attract a lot more humanities students to our university. It would make our humanities departments better, especially in the artistic fields. And I think that's a great thing and something that should be encouraged. And as Paul said, they've got everything planned out. They've done their preparations, and it's pretty good. So I'll be happy to vote for it.
All right, Temple. Temple, you can go.
Am I good to go, Madam Speaker? Awesome. So as Chair Yalamanchili had said, I will also be voting in favor of this. This isn't actually the first time I've voted on this piece of legislation. This has actually been the third time, if I'm not mistaken, that we're seeing this resolution. And I'm happy to see that this initiative is still being put forward by the deans. And it's a very important one, no less, because as Chair Yalamanchili had said, it does give more opportunities for humanities students. And I do see that there's more as a significant economic benefit to it as well, because it would attract more humanities students to a predominantly STEM-centered university. And knowing that Orlando is in a prime spot to really generate a lot more culture and a lot more areas in the humanities this is a fantastic first step for us to move forward. So I will be voting in favor of this resolution. I encourage you all to do the same.
All right, Hearst.
I think this is a good idea only because not only would it give a lot more draw to artistic students to want to come here, but also a lot of students in the area can then go on to work with the performing arts area, as well as for places like Disney or other places that have themed entertainment. Be a lot easier for them to find something that they're willing to get internships for a lot faster if they're already in the area. So I think this is a good idea for a long-term thought process for students to not only get more students to come here, but also have more students have more opportunities when they're outside of school.
DeMarla, or
Motion to see my amendments as a block.
there's been a motion to see Pro Tempore DeMarla's amendments as a block. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Is there a motion? Temple?
Move for 5-minute speeches, 5-minute questioning, 5-minute debate.
You said unlimited questioning?
5-minute questioning, 5-minute
Okay.
debate.
There's been a motion for 5-minute speeches, 5-minute questioning, 5-minute debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Pro Tempore DeMarla, 5 minutes when you're ready.
So the amendments that I made are just to clarify a couple of points and just to make them a bit more accurate than they already were. And that's basically, yeah, it just adds more to the resolution to make sure that everything's up to date and is as accurate as it can be for everyone to read.
All right. Is there a motion to go to questioning, or will she yield in? We're in questioning. Are there any questions for Pro Tempore DeMarla? Seeing none, I'll take a motion. Hearst.
Motion to move to vote?
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Oh, wait. Brody, do not count that. I will actually just subtract 1 from the, we're actually gonna have to send the poll again. I'm sorry, close the poll. Can you send it again? Thank you. Mhm. There we go. We have about 43 people, so we should be seeing, not 43, like 30 something. So we should be seeing 30 something responses. And Matal, don't vote because you haven't been president voting yet. Okay, is it ready, Brody? Okay. Oh, okay. With a vote count of, we'll just say, do I just say the like percentages or? Oh, okay. From 27 to 3-0, the block passes. The block of amendments passes. We are still in debate. Yeah. Temple.
Move to, assuming no other hands for debate, move to vote on the resolution.
There's been a motion to vote on Resolution 5501. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. All right. Or is there a way I can see the vote count on my end? Sorry. Yes, thank you all for bearing with us. This is our first time. As we continue to use Teams in the hybrid option, it'll get easier and easier. So thanks for sticking with us. All right, with a vote count of 27 to 1-0, Resolution 5501 passes. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming.
Thank you. If you all ever have any questions, you can contact me directly and I can answer those for you.
Of course, thank you, thank you. All righty. Is there a motion to return to announcements from the Senate President?
So moved.
All right. So announcements from Senate President. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a restful break. Caucus Leadership One-on-Ones. There's a link to it. Please schedule a one-on-one with me. It's recommended that both chair and vice chairs are there, but if just the chair can make it, that's fine. But it's expected that all caucuses fill this leadership one-on-one out by Saturday. If you have an issue with availability and you cannot fill out your availability by Saturday, please just let me know. Fiscal leadership meeting. Fiscal leadership, you were sent an email and a Teams message regarding meeting. This is so that Pro Tempore DeMarla and I can make sure that we support you in the best way possible for this upcoming year. so that we know what direction y'all want to go into when supporting our RSOs and how we can support you from our offices. So please fill out that when to meet that was sent to your email sometime soon so that we can have that meeting. And then for a virtual option, I don't really have any, so just bear with us. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I hereby appoint Laurel Richmond to External Legislative Assistant and Allison Pullman to Internal Legislative Assistant. Are there any questions for myself? All right, seeing none. Internal, we'll skip that one because it's vacant right now. External Legislative Assistant report, vacant. Senate President Pro Tempore report. Pro Tempore DeMarla, do you have anything for us?
Yes. Okay. Welcome back. I am so excited to get this summer session started. I'll also be having committee leadership meetings now that both the chair and the vice chair have been selected. So I'll send an email regarding that out probably within the next couple of days. And then I've started the trackers again. So I have an initiative tracker like I did in the previous session, and I'll figure out how to upload it to the Teams channel later. But the way that I have it set up is that there's like different sections based on like, is like a dean's meeting, is it in progress, finished, or like have been started or dropped for some reason. And the purpose of all of these is for people to be able to join projects whenever they see something that they're interested in, if it's continued, to see why maybe previous projects didn't work, if what they're trying to accomplish has already been tried before, maybe why it failed, or that maybe it passed and they just didn't know, and then be able to just pick up where in the next session we'll be able to pick up where we stopped. So it helps with continuity. It also helps with keeping track of stuff so the student body can see it better. But yeah, and I have it so that it's like color coded and stuff. So once I figure out how to put it into Teams, I can go over it like quickly, probably in the next meeting, just like exactly how it would work or something like that. But yeah, so I'm excited to get those started. I also have a bills tracker, and there's already like fiscal trackers and like a master tracker if anyone's like wants to know the specifics about each fiscal bill passed. But this is just also including resolutions, just because I know that sometimes it can be difficult to get all of them in one place. So it makes it easier for us to look back onto it. And then non-compliances for training. So you should have gotten an email before spring semester ended about non-compliances. So make sure that you get those trainings done and send those screenshots as soon as possible.
All right. Are there any questions for Senate President Pro Tempore DeMarla? Seeing none. Deeser Matal? For president voting?
Present and voting.
So noted at 6:52 p.m. All right, go back. All right, Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs report, D-Leg Morset.
Welcome back, everyone. Just as an announcement for future reference, I will be continuing the president set last session of having all legislation submitted by Wednesday at 5 p.m. So whenever you guys start writing resolutions or any internal legislation, make sure it's in my inbox by then. And today is Haitian Flag Day. If you didn't know, it's May 18th every year, and just a fun fact in celebration of it. The Haitian flag is red and blue. The red represents the Haitian residents that are of mixed European and African descent, and the blue is those of just African descent. And the middle is also white, which has the arms of Haiti on it, which represents the unity that was needed to gain independence from their French counterparts back in 1803 or 4. I forgot that year's wrong, but yeah.
Awesome. Are there any questions for D-Leg Morset? Seeing none. Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations report, none. APIA caucus report, none. Black Caucus Chair Dadalos.
Hello, everyone, again. Sorrows and prayers to everyone taking classes this summer, because that's not me. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves. And if not, want a friend or family member, journal, color, go outside, ride a bike, do what you need to do to get yourself jump started again. Black Caucus will be meeting every Tuesday evening at 5 in the conference room or on Zoom. Hopefully we do not have as much technical difficulties. Let me know if you won't be able to do 5 o'clock, and then I'll see what we can do. Shout out specifically to President Benjamin for filling out the Google form that I asked Black Caucus to fill out. The rest of y'all, I'm throwing tomatoes because y'all still ain't do it. Vice Chair elections will be next week during our first meeting. And I would really, 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 absolutely, supercalifragilisticexpialidociously love to have a vice chair. So please, 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 please come for vice chair elections. Please wear sunscreen every day. Make sure you apply it every 2 hours and drink at least 8 cups of water a day. And like D-Like Morissette said, happy Haitian Flag Day. I'll give a social aspect to our culture. Right now, I'm actually wearing a shirt that has what we like to call the 3 L's, which is l'école, l'église, and la caille, which is school, home, and church, which was kind of a thing that our parents would say that your only responsibilities are the locations where you need to be at in life is school, home, and church. So happy Haitian Flag Day again, everyone, and thank you.
Are there any questions for Chair Davalos? Seeing none, Disability Caucus, Chair Campbell.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there in person, taking online classes over the summer. So there's not much of an update from Disability Caucus, unfortunately. All the things we were working on kind of got put on the back burner a little bit just because lack of response, being the end of the semester and all that. Now it's kind of summer. So hopefully by the time next week rolls around and our next meeting happens, should have some actual updates for y'all and everything.
All right. Are there any questions for Chair Campbell? Seeing none, Latin Hispanic Caucus, none. LGBTQ plus caucus, none. Women's Caucus, Chair Bishop.
Hi y'all, happy summer. Hope it's all going well. My only thing is that meetings are every other Monday at 5 through Zoom, starting this Monday. This upcoming meeting, we're getting a vice chair in, so come out, it's gonna be fun. Also, thank you, Brody and Ella, for fixing my formatting. I was struggling, so yeah.
All right. Are there any questions for Chair Bishop? All righty. Seeing none, unfinished business, none. Fiscal Committee caucus time, none. Give me 1 second. Senator Luthra. Senator Luthra, can you hear me? No? Okay, when you can start hearing, I guess, you just say present voting. I'll type in the chat. All right. Fiscal Committee caucus time, none. Fiscal Committee report, CRT Committee, Chair Cimello.
Hey, y'all. CRT will be meeting Wednesdays at 3:30, starting next week on Zoom. And please, 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 I need more people in CRT. We currently just have me and my vice chair on the committee, literally 2 people. So if anybody wants to join, that would be lovely. If you guys are free at that time, 3:30 on Mondays, that would be great. I meant Monday in the thing, but it says Wednesday. I'll fix that. Sorry, y'all. But with that being said, have a great summer. XOXO.
All righty. Are there any questions for Chair Cimello? Seeing none, FAO Committee, Chair Butler.
Hi, everyone. FAO will be meeting Tuesdays at 2 p.m. starting next week, and they're going to be both in person and hybrid options. And we're going to be holding vice chair elections again. So if you're interested, make sure to come to the meeting. And yeah.
All right. Are there any questions for Chair Butler? Seeing none. Also, one question, Brody, is CRT elected or appointed? Elected, okay. Sorry, I need to do something. All right, Kaze, I added you for the elections for today. All righty. ORS Committee Chair Borges.
Hey, hopefully you can hear me. My power went out, so I'm not sure how secure my internet is. But we're meeting Mondays at 4:30 p.m. It'll be virtual as of now, unless my committee wants it to be hybrid. If you want to sit on all 3 fiscal committees, if you're absolutely crazy like I was last session, become an ORS rep. We don't have one right now. And then we're also reviewing Title VIII in addition to our regular business. So if you like Title VIII a lot, you should come and sit in.
Awesome. Are there any questions for Chair Borges? Seeing none. I can't remember who came into the Teams and I was like, hey, are you here? And I didn't hear anything. I can't remember who it was. If you just joined like 5 minutes ago, raise your hand so you can do present and voting. I do not remember who you were. I'm so sorry. Okay. I got you, Matal. I got you, I think. Who was it? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, we got you at 52, Matal. Luthra. Oh, yeah, thank you. Senator Luthra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you say present and voting for me, please?
Present voting.
All right, so noted at 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Okay, fiscal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading, Fiscal Bill 5202, funding for 22 members of the Team Sport Business Management to travel to the Student Career and Professional Development Learning Experience in New York from September 17th, 2023 to September 22nd, 2023. I hereby remand to CRT. Is remanded to CRT. Fiscal Bill 5503, funding for 42 members of the Association of Latino Professionals for America to travel to the Alpha National Convention in San Antonio, Texas from August 20th, 2023 to August 23rd, 2023, Jesus, is hereby remanded to CRT. Notice of legislation on third reading, none. Notice of legislation on second reading. Do I say it was postponed in committee or do I just skip over it?
So I put postponed in committee so because it's easy. Technically it wasn't. It just hasn't been seen in committee because they haven't met yet.
Okay.
So do whatever you want.
Okay, I'll just say it was postponed. Okay, Fiscal Bill 5501, funding for 5 members of MedLife to travel on the MedLife Service Learning Trip to mobile clinics in Riobamba, Ecuador from July 8, 2023 to July 16, 2023 was postponed in committee. Internal caucus time, none. Internal committee reports, ENA Committee Chair Kanawha.
Howdy, Senate. I know it's been a minute. I hope y'all's finals went smoothly and you're enjoying some decompressing time now over break. I know some of us have summer classes. I hope those are getting off to a smooth start for you guys as well. And ENA will be doing hybrid meetings in the Charge on Chamber, so Wednesdays at 11, and anybody is welcome to join or observe. And so this means that our busy season with lots of interviews and nominees is coming up as well. So if you have any specific potential questions or topics or concerns that you would like to see us express in these interviews, we would love it if you could send them to myself or Vice Chair Cantrell so we can include them in our interview processes. And that's all from me.
Are there any questions for Chair Kanawha? Seeing none, GAP Committee Chair Temple.
All right, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's break was relaxing and not as stressful as spring. It's strange to be in this weird box again, but c'est la vie. Regarding GAP updates, not much really. The Student Priority Survey framework has been developed courtesy of our fantastic Vice Chair, or Women's Caucus Chair, Bishop. We'll be honing in on what needs to be done to further refine that framework and ultimately get it distributed through the beginning from now to the beginning of fall. And yeah, we'll be meeting, I believe it was every Tuesday at 4 p.m. A hybrid modality, of course, although I think the majority of the committee will be online. But if you want to sit in on GAP, just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to get you on board. That being said, with the recent developments on the legislative front in the states, I know that there's a lot of senators who would want to be working on initiatives regarding that. regarding these areas. So if you have any initiatives that you have, and this goes for both Senate committee, the Senate as a whole, as well as GAP committee members, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to be of help in some way. And finally, in line with what the Black Caucus chair and the DLEC had done, I'm going to kick this session off right with an on this day fact. So in 1933, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed the Tennessee Valley Authority into law in order to develop electric infrastructure and the broader economies of the South during the Great Depression. I just wanted to add that because it's presidential history, and I know a few people in the chamber would get a good kick out of that. That's all.
Are there any questions for Chair Temple? Seeing none, LJR Committee, Chair Yalamanchili.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and hello, everyone, and good morning to all those who have not received a good morning yet. LJR is going to be meeting in the conference room through hybrid modality at 3 p.m. on Thursdays weekly. I expect that next week we're going to be drafting a precedent sheet as a set of rules and guidelines for the approval of absence requests, beginning statute reviews, as well as elections, representative elections for the GAP, SBA, and ORS, not ORS. I'm sorry, I forgot the third one. We're going to be holding rep elections for 3 committees. If you want to run, please let me know. I highly encourage y'all to run. It's going to be pretty good. This day in history facts, in the year 332, Roman Emperor Constantine announced a food aid program in the city of Constantinople. In 1969, Apollo 10 was launched, which was an orbital space flight around the moon. In 1974, India tested its first nuclear weapon in Operation Smiling Buddha and became the 6th nuclear power. So I figure that you might find that interesting. Thank you.
All right, are there any questions for Chair Yalamanchili? Seeing none, SBA Committee, Chair Hurst.
Hi, everybody. So SBA is going to be meeting on Fridays at 4 p.m. starting next week. We're off tomorrow, so you can take a week and chill. Hoping to get started on some things to help our student body once we get back. So if you have any ideas or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me whenever you want to do that, either through Teams or email. I don't really care. I'll be up no matter what anyway. I don't sleep. I also plan on working with GAP Chair Temple on how we can speak on recent state legislation and how it affects our students here on campus and online.
Awesome. Are there any questions for Chair Hurst? Seeing none. Confirmations. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ethan. Go ahead.
Not a question, just a comment to Chair Hurst. One, please get some sleep. And second of all, I'd be more than happy to work with you on those initiatives. Just reach out to me at any point.
You can't make me sleep.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments for Chair Hurst? Seeing none. Confirmations, Allison Pullman for ILA. So is there a motion for 7-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, unlimited debate for confirmations in general? All right, Allison Pullman for ILA. You have 7 minutes when you're ready.
Okay. Is the sound working?
Give me 1 second. We can hear you clearly though. All right, I'm ready for the timer when you are. Can y'all see her? Okay, awesome. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh wait, you're frozen a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Hello. It's great to see everyone again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Allison, and if confirmed as ILA, I would be overseeing the SGLC program in the fall and then the SLC program in the spring. So for those of you unfamiliar with the overall premise of the SGLC program, the acronym stands for Student Government Leadership Council. So SGLC is essentially a mentorship program
that is geared towards freshmen and sophomores, transfer students, underclassmen, and new students. And it is designed to familiarize the potential SG agents with the inner workings and processes that make SG a working unit. So I sit in a place of privilege in the sense that I just recently went through this process in the past year, so I have very fresh ideas and plans in mind. So program outreach improvement is one of the first initiatives I do. Only the SG application doesn't successfully reach as many people as it can. So one of the things I plan to do to solve this issue is to actively table on campus when the fall semester begins in order to speak to students face-to-face and one-on-one. Another way to reach as many students as possible would be to employ the kiosks around campus and implement QR codes that would give brief summaries on the program and show students exactly to apply. I remember when I was applying, I did have trouble finding it on Knights Connect. And as for the internal parts of SGLC, high participation and retention throughout the year is a main focus for me, especially moving into the second semester with SLC. Attendance and participation is generally kept through a points policy, which I do plan to uphold. And for SLC specifically, I plan to keep a points tally more on a week-by-week basis, and that would be seeded through different incentives. And I do plan to follow the notion of the past SLC session in which there were mock committee meetings, which drove further knowledge and immersed the SLCers into the processes of the legislative branch. For both SGLC and SLC, bonding retreats are vital. In my time in SGLC, I value the times I spent outside of doing work for SG and was able to connect with my peers on a personal level. Building these relationships with fellow SGLCers has the ability to create solid stepping stone foundations in order to tie the branches closer together. An example of a bonding retreat we did was a field day last fall. It was a blast, I remember, and it drew me closer to my fellow SGLCers. So as the legislative representative for SGLC, my main goal is to bring as much attention and, for lack of a better word, hype to the newcomers in order to fill these empty seats. I don't want Senate to feel like a consolation prize in any capacity. I'm fully aware of my responsibility to help the SGLCers realize their potential in SG, hopefully give them a positive perspective on our work in order to bring more participation in the legislative branch. The beauty of this whole process is that it's a learning experience. Anyone willing and able to put the work in is qualified to represent our student body. Thank you. I yield my time.
All right. We are now in questioning. I have uploaded the interview notes from each interview. So try not to repeat the same question that was stated in the interview, but feel free to ask your own questions and build upon that. Chair Temple.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Two questions, if I may.
You may.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Ms. Pullman. It is a joy and a pleasure to see you on here tonight. My first question regards internal matter with SGLC as a whole. So, as you probably know, as one of the coordinators of the SGLC program, you'll be working with others from the judicial and executive branches. How do you intend on going about working with the new coordinator should they be confirmed?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole premise of SGLC is that you're trying to lead them where they want to go. So I would just make sure that we're all on the same page of like, this isn't really about specific branches, it's about the SGLCers. And as much as I do want to positively impact them and to push them towards Senate, I think we all just need to be on the same page of like making sure that everyone is on the same page of like, we want everyone here to like care about SG. And then another thing, I would want them all to be on board with probably stricter attendance policies, but just have the same mindset that like it might not work. Not every branch works for every SGLC, and that's okay.
Okay. My second question relates to SLC. If I'm not mistaken, you yourself went through SLC, as you had said, and as a result, you do have some fresh experience. If I'm not mistaken, did you go through SLC?
I didn't. I did ELC.
Oh, that's right. My apologies then. So with that in mind, what do you intend to bring differently into SLC, given that you went through a different leadership council in the spring?
So for SLC, I would want to implement, I know for SGLC in the fall, it's a point system based on the whole semester. But I think for SLC, because there's so many committee meetings and caucus meetings like that go on during the week, I would want to do a point system during like week by week. If that makes sense.
A follow-up to that second question, if I may?
You may.
Yeah.
All right, I don't intend to monopolize time here, but I was more so geared towards what different, aside from the attendance system, what other, okay.
Uh-oh, we can't really hear you, Temple.
Okay,
Hoffman?
I'm sorry, I thought I'm hearing things, but anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so given your experience in ELC and beyond the point system for attendance, what different ways do you intend to engage students who are involved in the SLC program? What do you intend to do new beyond mock committee meetings and mock Senate meetings, really?
I don't know if this would answer your question, but I think more bonding retreats and more like internal mentorship, maybe like a sort of bonding retreat with a, I've mentioned this in my speech, I don't know if it's in my goal sheet, but a bonding retreat more geared towards like mentors and mentees. I think it was kind of difficult having like one mentee. You could maybe, I was also considering switching out mentees, mentors, more bonding retreats. I'm sorry if this isn't answering your question, but I just think like the closer you are as a group, the easier it is to work together when you actually get into Senate. And that's what I learned in ELC.
Okay, that actually did answer my question. Thank you. Oh, one more question. I'm sorry.
You may, because I don't see any other hands. So unless you'll have, never mind. I'm going to come back to you, Temple, and I have 2 more hands, okay? Hers.
Hey, so because this does go over both fall and spring semester, do you believe that with your classes as you are a student first, you'll have enough time to focus on being an ILA and working with SGLC and SLC?
Yes, I do, because in the past, going through SGLC, you kind of are shown how much time it does take.
Allison, you're breaking up.
Did you hear any of that?
We can hear you now. But you're
Okay, should I
choppy
repeat
a
the
little
answer?
bit. You're good now.
Okay, so repeat the answer.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the beauty of this position for me is that I just went through SGLC and ELC, so I am familiar with the time commitment that it would take. And so I only do 4 classes a semester. And so I think I'm not too worried about the time commitment.
All right. Yalom and Chili?
So, thank you, Allison, for being here. And one thing I would like to share when I was ILA was that when we went through deciding, sorting the SGLCers into SLC, ELC, and JLC, the overwhelming majority of people put JLC and ELC. Very few of them put SLC. I spoke with the ILA before me, and she said that was also the case with her. And so it's of my opinion that SLC is seen as the last resort for people. And it's generally seen as more boring than the other 2 leadership councils because ELC has a lot of volunteering events. JLC has the same. And SLC just has workshops and mentorships, which are great, but it does make SLC look boring compared to the other leadership councils. So what can you do to make SLC more interesting and something that people would want to engage in and not just see as a last resort to ensure that, the program lets them do something meaningful to improve our campus?
Yeah, so that is something I also cited at the end of my speech. I just don't want, I feel like sometimes Senate can feel like for the SGLCers, it was like a consolation prize, and it shouldn't be that way. So, I mean, to make it more exciting, I know being I was an ELCer, so I totally understand. We got to do we had privileges compared to the other two. I would say, so for my part, I would really just try to hype Senate up throughout the semester, but for SLC itself, I think we could incorporate more like bonding retreats. But sometimes, I mean, Senate is just like a lot of like that dry work, like the workshops. But I think, yeah, my one solution would just be spending more time together, kind of like those, like a potluck type thing. Another field day would be so fun. And just things like that, interacting outside of SG too.
Daedalus and then Morset.
Hi, I don't know if I'm going all the way back after asking this question, but I'm a little confused on what SGLC and SLC itself is. Like, I get it's kind of like a mentoring thing that in a sense shadows Senate, but I'm not getting the full gist of what it is. I'm sorry. I just wanted to know if you could explain it to me a little better.
Right. So when I was in it, I thought of it more as like an internship program, like we're interns and we just sometimes will go help run events. But basically the premise is that you're familiarizing yourself with all three branches. So we would get points for going and sitting in committee meetings or Senate meetings, or for the judicial committee meetings, we would get points for that. Just like little incentives to go familiarize yourself with the processes that all of the three branches go through. And then that was the fall semester. And then in the spring, you're then split up. The coordinators will choose ELC, JLC, or SLC, and then that's like your focus for the spring semester.
Is it okay if I ask another question?
You may.
Okay, just precisely, is it like, would you consider it, because I know like we also have the President's Leadership Council, we have lead scholars, so would you consider it as like a organization in a sense? Or like, what is it technically considered as under the school? Like, I'm trying to understand that specific part, I'm sorry.
I guess it would be considered, it's like a part of student government, but I guess, I don't know if Speaker Holmes could answer this better for me.
It's okay, I can answer.
I don't know the exact logistics.
Daedalus, if essentially SGLC is kind of like Pullman said, it is a kind of like a organization, but they're kind of shadowing student government. So they're seeing if they're interested in student government. You're not in student government, but you're looking at the three different branches. So SLC would be Senate Leadership Council, JLC would be judicial, and ELC would be executive. And so after fall semester, after you sit in the different committee meetings and familiarize yourself with the different procedures and things that the three different branches do, then you're split up into the branch of your preference, and essentially individuals get to shadow and work with the different positions in each branch so that they can see if that branch is a fit for them, and when the time comes they can apply to that branch and see if they get in once elections and things like that start. Does that answer your question? That's less of a candidate question and more of like a general question that I can answer for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Daedalus? Not Daedalus, Morset.
My question is, from my experience in both SGLC and SLC, since the pro temp's office kind of took over for the last half of it, I found it very, very beneficial to have kind of more of Senate leadership a part of like our general meetings. And I'm not necessarily asking, would you like run it with them, but would you consider kind of having them step, if they would like to, the pro temp's office, have more of a role? Because I felt like having them in towards the end of SLC is kind of what motivated me more and more to join Senate in the end.
Absolutely, I'd be open because it's great hearing that from an actual SLCer, and I'd be new to SLC, so absolutely, you know, anything. I think it would be so cool to have the pro temp's office, because for that's a whole new set of people to give insight. And so hearing that from an SLC, I'd be so open to that.
Temple, did you still have a question?
No, Madam Speaker. My
Okay.
questions have since been exhausted.
Okay. Yalaman Chili,
2 questions, if I may.
you may.
So one thing is that with SLC is that there's reviews of statutes, and it tends to be that people who newly joined Senate without any prior SG experience can pick up on, you know, the fundamental aspects of Senate in a short amount of time, perhaps 2 weeks. So what can you do to make the workshops over the statutes better, to give, you know, SLCers, you know, an opportunity to learn more than what a senator would in Senate orientation, for example, because the program is a few months long.
So through this, I would be probably enlisting the help of hopefully the DLEG to break the statutes down and make it a little more easier to understand, but also at the same time, the statutes are just sometimes dry, and that's just how they are. And hopefully those quick workshops that I know I'm
Allison, you're breaking up again.
I think the statutes. Oh no. Did you hear any of that?
Last thing you said was mentioning workshops. Like the workshops were, like statutes are dry and you would do workshops, something about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, because
you're good now.
No, I still, okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I still would do the workshops. I don't know if you guys heard, I would ask for the help of, I know Chair Borges, just more of the, and Chair Simillo, DLEG Morissette, fiscal committee chairs, all of those to break down the statutes. But unfortunately, the statutes, I think, just are dry, and that's just how they are. And you do have to, it does take time to get used to them. But I think with the help of Senate leadership, it is possible.
My second question was the nature of mentorships in SLC. And it says on the SG website that SLCers will be able to introduce legislation, and they can do that if their mentor in Senate or any other senator decides to take up that legislation and introduce it onto the Senate floor. I don't think we saw that in this year's SLC, and we certainly did not see that in the SLC that I was in, which was in spring of last year. So would you be open to pushing this idea to allow SLCers to make impacts on campus while they're in SLC instead of having to wait until they are in Senate or any other branches of student government?
So I think that's where the idea of mentor-mentee comes in, whereas, I mean, the mentee is absolutely going to learn from the mentor, but the mentor already having the seat is going to make that step. I do think a mentee could easily learn and have a good idea, and that would be in between the mentor and mentee. I think it's possible, and I wouldn't rule it out, but it would ultimately be up to the mentor how they would go about that.
Simillo?
Okay, so kind of jumping off of Danny's question, when I was in SLC, we did like pretty much every week, AJ was trying to kind of get the chair of a committee to come in or a caucus to come in and kind of do like a mock of their committee or caucus with us with like no prior knowledge. But like, is that something you would be willing to do like in spring of like a committee chair comes in and like chairs their committee with the SLCers, or how do you like want to show them like that? Do you just expect them to get it from going with their mentor to the committee?
I think mock committees are probably vital to the SLC process just because with Senate, there's just so many different committees and sometimes the statutes can be a little confusing. So I think a mock committee is absolutely needed in addition to shadowing your mentor.
Are there any other questions for Senator Pullman? Seeing none, is there a motion? Oh, Hurst.
Motion to move to debate.
Was that a motion, Temp? Okay. There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. Semello, Yalaman Chili. And then is there a third? No. Semello.
Literally went to raise my hand. That was so embarrassing.
And then Hochfelder
Anyways.
can go after Yalaman Chili. Yeah, go ahead, Semello.
So I don't see a reason why not to vote in favor. Obviously, like me, Danny, other people that were in SLC before, Allison's welcome to come up to us, ask us questions. She's been through SLC, well, not SLC, but ELC. She's been through SGLC. She knows like the ropes of everything. Honestly, with her being in like a different branch than SLC, I think that might be also a benefit for her, just so that way she could be like, if someone came up to her and been like, hey, like what happened here? Like, honestly, SGLC is something for people to learn. So with her having experience in a different branch, it's also very helpful. So I will be voting in favor.
Awesome. Yalaman Chili.
So I will be voting in favor of Allison because she's very passionate at what she does. As Chair Semillo said, she was in SGLC and ELC, so she knows how the program works. Through questioning, she's demonstrated very good knowledge in that. So I will be voting in favor, and I encourage y'all to do the same.
Hochfelder.
Yeah, I'll be voting in favor as well. I think Senator Pullman is perfect for the position. She was the first friend I made in Senate. She explained everything to me, really just like benefited my understanding of the scene, the system, and I couldn't think of any better candidate that would kind of be able to enlighten people about, what our mission is, what we want to do, and hopefully, feed the next session of senators. So yeah, she has my full support, and I think everyone should vote in the same.
Temple.
May I retain?
You may.
All right, so I will also
Wait,
be voting in favor
you may
of
not.
Senator.
You may not retain. We have another hand. Go ahead.
Dang it. I'll yield to them.
Okay. Hurst. Oh, okay. Oh, that's Hochfelder. He already spoke. All right. Never mind. You may retain then, Temple.
Sweet. So where was I? Oh yeah. I will be voting in favor of Senator Pullman. I took notes on how she plans on going about it, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Chair Semillo who said that it would, her background in ELC would provide a fresh take in SLC. I do agree to that sentiment because as much as it is good to have an ILA who has Senate experience, it is also good to have somebody who has the background of another branch as well, because not only does that allow for unique experiences and unique plans to be implemented based off of different philosophies, but also because it does owe credence to the idea that we are to be a body that works with both judicial and executive, and confirming an ELC into a legislative position would kind of give us a boost in terms of like, hey, look, we're putting in an ELCer into Senate. We are taking the experiences of executive and implementing them into Senate, which is going to owe, I think, a lot to our relationship with exec moving forward. But with that, I will be voting in favor of Senator Pullman. And with that, I'll move to vote on the confirmation of Senator Pullman for ILA.
There's been a motion to vote on the confirmation of Senator Pullman for ILA. Are there any? Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. What was it, Brody? 24-0-1. There with a vote count of 24-0-1. Congratulations, ILA Pullman. All righty. Laura Richmond for External Legislative Assistant. You have 7 minutes when you're ready, Senator Richmond.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good
and
evening. My name-
she also has a PowerPoint. Oh, Brody's pulling it up. So when he pulls it up,
Oh, okay.
you can start. Oh, she just put it in the folder a few minutes ago. It's a PDF. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brody. All righty. 7 minutes when you're ready, Senator Richmond.
Good evening. My name is Laurel, and I'd like to start off with telling you a little bit about myself. I just finished my first year here at UCF and majoring in political science on the pre-law track, and then minoring in urban and regional planning. My whole life, I played soccer, which has taught me the importance of teamwork, communication, and dedication, which I believe have carried over to all aspects of my life. Over the past year, I've learned so much and grown as an individual, being involved in various extracurriculars here on campus, including mock trial, UCF Dems, Residence Hall Association, and Night Dawn. Beginning this summer, I will be an RA for Neptune, which I believe will help me as the external legislative assistant. Being an RA will provide me with crucial insight to various communities on campus, including what difficulties they may be facing and what they require to succeed. Is I will have this opportunity to get to know almost 60 residents, which I believe is crucial for the external legislative assistant. Then can you scroll down? Thank you. As external legislative assistant, I plan to build relations, advocate for more meetings with college deans, increase communications by creating weekly press releases and holding office hours. I plan to build relations with the student body through flexible office hours offered to both senators and the student body as a whole, and advertising the SBA idea feedback and concern form in the press releases so we can hear directly from the student body, so we can then collaborate with all branches of student government and college deans and departments to create the change needed. To create the change, I know and acknowledge the importance of having good relations with the executive branch, judicial council, and deans, which I plan to continue to build and maintain. A big part of the ELA's responsibility is scheduling meetings during both the fall and spring semester between senators and college deans, which is crucial in order to allow our constituents' voices to be heard and to create the change needed. I love to see more than 2 meetings a session if requested by a senator to continue to increase the communication between the Senate and deans. And can you scroll down one more time? Thank you. As I kind of touched on, I plan on creating weekly press releases to increase awareness of what the Senate is doing amongst the student body, which I plan to have published on the SG website and maybe even have an option to opt in to a listserv type style, but I haven't really gotten too deep into that. But here are 2 different formats that I've created just to illustrate what these press releases would look like. I personally like the newsletter style better, where I've included the 2 pieces of legislation introduced during the last minute meeting, the upcoming events that were advertised at the last meeting, and a QR code that takes you to the Night Connect page where you can find all the Senate forms which are listed. I plan for these press releases to be kind of a one-stop shop for the student body to learn about what the Senate is doing and how they can get involved. Thank you. I yield the rest of my time.
All right, we are now in questioning. Are there any questions for Senator Richmond? Yalman Chili?
2 questions, if I may.
You may.
So my first question to you is, Laurel, it's great to have you here. What is your stance on senators talking to student reporters on Senate affairs? How would you handle that? And my second question is, you said you play soccer, which is awesome. What is your favorite team, and do you have any preference in the Premier League?
So yeah, the first question, definitely, I think the senators should come to me, just because the ELA, in their duties, should be the direct contact for media agencies, just so we can all be like coherent and have the same views as the Senate. And then the second question, definitely Tottenham. I played for their local academy where I'm from, so they're just my favorite, even though they're not too good.
You can also find Senator Richmond's extended answer in the interview for question 6. That was a scenario that was given to her. I'll do, Borges raised their hand first. Borges, then Temple.
Thank you. Can you list all of the colleges that could have dean meetings?
Arts and humanities, and other than that, I'm not too sure, but I can definitely find out. I'm sorry.
Temple? Or I'm sorry, was that your only
Right.
question, Borges? My bad.
No, I have more, but I'll ask them later. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
Temple?
First off, I have choice words for Tottenham at the moment, but we'll save that for later. So good evening, Miss Richmond. It's awesome to have you here. My question relates to your newsletter, because I'm not mistaken, this isn't the first time that something similar has been issued by the Office of the ELA. And from last I heard, they weren't too successful in the past because of a lack of attention or a lack of energy around it. How do you intend on approaching this differently to ensure that students do read this newsletter?
So I think kind of having an option to where you can opt into like a listserv style, where like if you choose to opt in, you get it weekly to your email, would definitely help, because once you see it once, hopefully you think it looks good and helps your understanding of Senate, so you want to opt in. And then like giving access to senators to advertise it, because a lot of them have Instagrams where they ran their campaign, so they're able to post them and just keep increasing awareness on Senate and what they're doing, if that answers your question.
Are there any other questions? Hurst, and then Borges.
Hi, Laurel. So looking at the actual duties that are on our statutes for the ELA position, are you comfortable speaking with people that may not be as polite and they may be a little hostile to you, like reporters may be asking you questions that may not be quite so calmly worded?
Yeah, for sure. For mock trial, we had like crossing attorneys like trying to get us to lie on the stand. So I'm pretty good under pressure.
Borges?
Thank you. Can you elaborate on how you're sending out these press releases, like more in detail?
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely think it would be beneficial to have them published on the Knight Connect, where you find all the information. And then that can also be a place where you can opt into this listserv style, where I need to look up like more details on how people do that. And then just probably putting it in the team's chats, advertising at each Senate meeting, just so senators know that they can, and really encourage them to just spread it with their constituents, because everyone here has a broader reach together to the whole student body than I do just as one person.
Kana?
If that answers your question.
In a similar vein, are you comfortable saying no to reporters if they're asking questions on contentious topics that we don't necessarily have one major opinion on or we haven't discussed yet in Senate, or would you still attempt to answer those?
Could you hear that, Richmond? Oh,
No, I couldn't hear the last part.
You were a little too low. That's okay.
So are you comfortable telling reporters that you are not giving them a response on questions that we don't necessarily have a clear answer on or we haven't discussed in Senate yet?
For sure. If there's no comment to give, I for sure feel comfortable saying no comment.
Right. right. Are there any other questions for Senator Richmond? Borges.
Yeah, can you name 3 mass media outlets on campus?
Yeah, so the Nicholson one, I think it's like the Knights Journal. And then I know there's like the independent ones that come from the schools. I'm pretty sure there's one that's like the Nightly Nugget or something like that. But I know there's a lot of independent journalism majors who have to write stories for a specific class. So there's a lot of different people who will be asking questions.
Are there any other, is that enough? Okay. Are there any other questions for Senator Richmond? Seeing none, Hurst.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're non-debate. Hurst.
I think Senator Richmond is a good choice for this position. I know she may not know every exact detail of the position itself and all of the different places you'll have to get dean meetings from and things like that. But with time, as she is new, she will learn, as we all have in this new position that we are in. And I think that she's in a good position to do that for us. So I'll be voting in favor for her.
Yalaman, Chili, Hochfelder, and then DeMarla.
So I believe Senator Richmond is a great fit for ELA. She's been in mock trial, and I believe that experience helps with public speaking and speaking to deans in a professional environment. That's pretty cool. She's also passionate in Senate and making an impact not only on our campus, but in the political arena as well. She's quite passionate. She's knowledgeable about the duties of the ELA, but even with that, these positions are a learning curve. Senate is a learning curve. If she doesn't know something, that's fine. I'm very confident that she will be able to learn everything she needs to. And while it is unfortunate that she supports Tottenham, Liverpool beat Tottenham 4-3 on April 30th. I will, however, say that I'm still very happy to vote in favor of Senator Richmond for ELA, and I encourage you all to do the same.
Hochfelder, and then Temple.
Yeah, I'll be voting for the candidate. I think Senator Richmond is well qualified. I think she's very honest about what she knows, doesn't know. She's just real with it, and I can't think of a reason to vote against. So I think she's a good choice, and I think everyone else should vote in the same way. And I also think she made a phenomenal choice in terms of her soccer club.
Temple, and then Borges.
You guys are really trying to make me not make this Senate a battleground for football teams, but all right. So yes, I will be voting in favor of Senator Richmond, although she didn't know too many of the details that are required of the ELA. As Chair Hurst had said, there is a lot that needs to be learned for any position really in Senate, let alone just being a typical senator. And knowing Senator Richmond's capacity in her roles outside of Senate, I do believe that she'll be able to pick up on the material quite well. Although I do regret that I will be voting in favor of somebody who is supporting Tottenham of all teams. But then again, Liverpool haven't had nearly as good a run this season either, so I really shouldn't be saying much.
Borges?
Yeah, so I have a few concerns. So the candidate was only able to answer one of the 14 possible colleges that could have dean meetings. I guess colleges, like in quotations, that being arts and humanities, didn't even include their own college. And then other than that, not naming mass media outlets correctly and ones that simply just don't exist. But I really liked her design for the weekly press releases a lot. I think they're definitely eye-catching, and hopefully it could work out. I had concerns about adding it to the website, considering that's under exec's jurisdiction and not ours. But I don't really see any reason to truly vote no. I just would like to see the improvement that everyone else is talking about. So yeah.
All right. Are there any more senators wishing to speak in debate? No. Is there a motion? Or Hochfelder, were you doing a motion? No. Temple, motion?
Move to vote on the confirmation of Senator Richmond for the position of ELA.
There's been a motion to vote on the confirmation of Senator Richmond for ELA. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. All right, Brody, what is it? No problem. There, with a vote count of 20 to 0 to 6, congratulations, ELA Richmond. And also, thank you for everyone's comments, concerns, debate. I'm going to have my office look over the recordings to see what they missed on or what they could strengthen on to best deliver to our Senate body. So thank you. Thank you to the individual that we confirmed. Where are we now? Internal legislation. Notice of legislation on first reading, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, we already did that. Notice of legislation on second reading, none. Senate forums, Chair Campbell.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about the laws that unfortunately got signed recently. Specifically wanted to talk about SB 254. For those that don't really know, SB 54 was a compounded bill. One half primarily concerned trans kids and how they are now having a separate classification when it comes to custody agreements with parents in and outside of Florida. Absolutely abhorrent, terrible. That's only one half. The other half is unfortunately an outright ban on gender affirming care for minors, and then a near complete ban on gender affirming care for adults. It is a very unfortunate thing that I have to deal with now. I don't necessarily talk about this too much just because I keep some things close to my chest, but I am trans and I do take hormones. And this morning I took all of my meds out and I counted them one by one to see how many days I have left before I have to make the decision, because I genuinely don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now, no trans person in the entire state is able to get their meds. And we're waiting on the Board of Medicine to make whatever waivers. And then even then, 80% of the way trans adults got their meds is now banned. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have about a month to figure it out. And the unfortunate part is I'm better off than others. A friend of mine, she has a week's worth left and she doesn't know what she's gonna do. So just to everyone in here, obviously this is an abhorrent bill that's been passed. And none of us know if there's gonna be injunctions filed or if they'll be successful. But in the meantime, just reach out to your friends. Right now they need it.
Temple?
Yeah, I wanted to bounce off of the Chair Campbell's statements regarding that piece of legislation, because the administration that governs this state also issued, signed into law other bills that I'm trying to find the words for it, but they affect students horribly. And these were bills that we had fought against strenuously during our day at the Capitol this past April. One of them being SB 266, otherwise known more infamously as HB 999. I'm not going to get into too many details because that was heavily covered but for those who are in the know, it's basically stop woke 2.0. And I don't care where you stand on the political spectrum, and I'm not even saying this as a political partisan for those who may consider otherwise, and this is especially so considering my position as the chairman of the GAP committee. This bill will hurt students. It will absolutely hurt students, not just in college, but also in high school, in middle school, and elementary school. Now, it's gonna have very, very difficult impacts for our ability to learn, just as the legislation that Chair Campbell had discussed would impact trans kids and trans adults. This cannot happen. And I want to work with the senators of this body to find ways to not only help students and this time right now with so much uncertainty and so much peril, but also find ways to, I just lost the wording for it, but things have to change. We need to be a lot more proactive moving forward. And I know this body can do that. And I know this body can spearhead it.
All right. Are there any other senators wishing to speak during Senate Forum? Yalman Hurst, did you have your hand up as well? Yalman then Hurst.
To add on to what Chair Campbell had to say, Ron DeSantis signed 4 anti-LGBT bills at New College, I believe, and he did so on the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. It's pretty abhorrent. I genuinely feel, very disappointed at how much the trans community is being attacked. I do intend on talking with officers of UCF-PD to ask them how these laws will be enforced on our campus and what can be done to make the lives of trans students and queer students easier. And I would like to say that we might not be able to do much as a Senate, but what we can do is keep this place as a safe space for everyone, regardless of their race, sex, gender identity, creed, religion, etc. What we can do is say that this student government is a student government and a Senate that stands up for trans people. What we can do is say that we should not tolerate transphobia in our student government. And I would like to say that this would give a message that everybody is welcome in student government, and that despite the actions of the state, that this organization continues standing up for people across our campus, especially the trans community, which is being attacked particularly hard by Ron DeSantis and members of the state legislature. And to everyone in the trans community, you are loved, and it is the duty and the obligation of this Senate to stand up for you. Thank you.
Hurst.
What the state legislator and our governor have done are, dare I say, abhorrent, because they are attacking a minority that cannot defend themselves. And I am so sorry to those that have been hurt by this and will continue to be hurt by this in the future because of the things that people continue to do for their own gain. I hope that this body can work with Chair Temple and Chair Campbell and myself to try and make more awareness of this for our own campus. And anyone that is a part of this university and anyone that wants to speak out and should can come out against this in force, because unless we say something, if we stay silent, it seems as though we don't care. So I hope that this body and its members, as well as those that either are watching or will hear about this tomorrow, will stand up against the things that people are doing because they think we don't care.
Are there any other senators wishing to speak during Senate forum? Seeing none, Senate deliberations. Are there any senators wishing to deliberate on a specific topic? Seeing none. I love how y'all make good decisions. I'm just kidding. Advisors report, Brody.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back for the summer. Excited to see so many people here. That's a joke. There's 9 senators here. So hopefully more of you that are virtual want to come into the chamber and hang out on a Thursday night. So, if that's the thing they're interested in doing, that'd be fun. But no, I am excited that you're all back. Excited to see how you all kind of get started. The first month or so, we'll spend a lot of time taking care of doing all these confirmations we're going to be seeing. So, prep for that. We're going to, as I do every semester, I'm going to check eligibility in the next week or so. So make sure that you don't have any kind of financial holds or anything you can take care of. Or if you have any other concerns, just let me know. With that, I will introduce our new student assistant, Maddie McNutt here. They are taking, thank you, Sierra. Perfect. They're taking over. Alo's finishing out one last night, kind of helping with some transitions. So they're sitting here, but they're not really here. So they have no, you do not have to treat them with any respect at all. Well, any respect because of position. Obviously, treat them with normal human respect. I assumed that part didn't have to be said. Okay, that's it. We'll do some senator shout outs. Vihan.
Firstly, I would like to say shout out to both the new ILA and the ELA for being confirmed. Congratulations to ELA Richmond and ILA Pullman. My third shout out goes to Alo. We will miss you. It has been great to have you as our student assistant, and we're really happy to have you here. And congratulations on your graduation and on your future journey. And my fourth shout out goes to Maddie. Congratulations for now being Alo 2.0. It's awesome to have you. And that's about it.
Temple. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Brody.
Okay, Ethan. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I only have a few. Of course, shout outs to our new ILA and ELA, but I wanted to focus on the ELA. As much as I did review about you supporting Tottenham, I used to support Spurs myself, so hope no harm was done there. Still sorry for kind of hitting you guys in the gut last on the 30th. And of course, shout out to my amazing vice chair who had already put the framework together for the student priority survey. Thank you, Stephanie. You saved a lot of work on me. I'll get with you at some point though to help you with that. And then of course, shout out to the 9 senators that are in the chamber at the moment. I really wish I were there with you guys, but I'm well.
All right, Akila.
My first shout out will be for Chair Bishop. So she already started working on an initiative for like a reproductive health fair. And I had the student that she's been working with email me and like thank me for putting me into contact with her because she's been so helpful, so on top of stuff. So I love that students are emailing me saying that like student government agents are doing so well and like are excited to work with them. So that's amazing. And then my second shout out will be for fiscal leadership. They're working really hard, especially with the new Senate session. And a lot of new senators, so they're doing amazing. I had a meeting with them, so go them. Yay.
All right. Oh, yeah, Amanda.
Crap, I can't watch this thing. Hi. So I have a few. Senator Hamid, I'm going to shout you out first because you reached out to me for some help with some things while we were a little bit out. And I appreciate you reaching out and starting to work on those things. I'm going to get back to you as we probably start up again as we get back to this. Also, I'm going to shout out Ben for still showing up and looking dapper, might I add. And I think that's pretty much it. And also for Maddie, shout out to you for not just being Allo 2.0, making it your own position as you have time.
All right. If there's no others, I will. Oh, yeah, Beyond. All right.
I would like to shout out Chair Kenall because I know there's a lot of confirmations coming up, and so ENA is going to be doing a lot of work. And I've heard that you have been meeting with people to get that going, and so good job on your hard work.
Yes, with that, real quickly. Okay, actually, are there any other shout outs? Oh, Elle, sorry.
Yeah, just wanted to shout out Maddie. Glad to see you back in Chambers, Matt.
All right. Okay, if there are no further shout outs, I do have one more announcement that I totally forgot about. Yes, we are diving into the confirmations. So just briefly before you start kind of doing all of those, just as a reminder and to help kind of keep your frame of mind in the right place, the confirmation process is not one to select the best candidate, right? It's not necessarily a job interview. Your job is not to pick the best person for the job. Your job is to say, is this person who has been selected qualified, capable, etc. So yes, just to keep that in mind, there is a balance between doing your due diligence and respecting the interview process that has already happened and the people that will work well with the team that is being constructed. So yes, just keep that in mind over the next several weeks as we go through that process. Okay, if there's nothing else for me, Netta.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Wonderful seeing the 9 senators' beautiful faces. I'm going to send out an email like right after I give this announcement with my availability so that we can set up a one-on-one. So yeah, that'll be just like a meeting for me to meet all of you. And so we can chat and you can tell me your goals and I can keep you accountable. Let's see. I'm going to be out of office Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, but don't be scared because I will be back for Senate. So you will see me then. And if you need anything in the meantime, email me because I'll check my email even if I'm not in office. Okay. And now Maddie. Woo.
Hello, everyone. I see some new and old faces. I'm very happy to be back in Senate. I love being here. I'm going to be Allo 2.0. I'm very sad that they're leaving, but I hope I can follow in their footsteps and hopefully I get to see you all here in the chamber soon.
All right, so miscellaneous business, elections. Okay, Brody, before I do this, let me just make sure because I haven't done this since like the first meeting. All right, so it's the open nominations, nominate, close nominations, and then is there a motion to elect? Okay, yes, okay. I'm not totally pooped. Okay, all right. So is there a motion? Okay, for elections, is there a motion to open nominations for the CRT committee? Is there a motion to nominate Senator Causet to the CRT committee? Is there a motion to close nominations for the CRT committee? Is there a motion to elect this? To elect this individual to the CRT committee. Wait, is it all those in favor say aye? Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay. All those in favor say aye. All those against say nay.
Aye.
All those abstaining. All right. So Senator Causet, congrats, dude. Okay. So is there a motion to open nominations for the ENA committee? Is there a motion to nominate Senator Borges and Senator Yalman-Chile to the ENA committee? Is there a motion to close nominations for the CRT committee? ENA committee. All those in favor say aye. All those against, all those against say nay. All those abstaining. All right, congratulations, y'all. I hereby appoint Senator Hamid and Senator Acosta to the Disability Caucus. Resignations, I hereby resign Senator Yalman-Chile and Senator Bishop from ORS. I hereby resign Senator Cimello from the Disability Caucus, and I hereby resign Senator Cimello from Women's Caucus. All right, DeMarla's drip down.
So first off, if my camera turns off randomly, it's because my dog's eating something. He's a puppy, so he's in that phase where he like destroys everything he eats. So I'm like scrambling to make sure he doesn't chew through my AirPods again. But I have only limited options because I don't see everyone's outfits, and I also can't see like the entire screen, like the entire chamber. So I'm working off a low sample size. So for third, I'll go with I don't think there's enough for honorary mentions, but third I'll do Laurel. I like the sweater. I like the little pattern. I can kind of see a little bit on the sleeves. For second, okay, I got a couple more. Then I'll do the honorary mention. I'll do Ben. Oh, I like the shoes and the entire outfit. If you want to do a spin. Okay, good. And then for second, I'll do Sierra. Sorry, my dog is going crazy. I like the outfit. If you want to give us a spin too, you can.
I don't know how it looks on the camera, but
yeah. And then for first place, I'll go with Ethan because Ethan's the only person that would wear a suit over a Zoom meeting. So good for him. He got number 1. So yay. But yeah.
awesome.
Sorry, my dog's crazy.
All right. Is there a motion? Hurst?
Motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Thank you, Ethan.
There's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Chair Yalamanchili.
Senator Herrera, absent. Senator Trainer, present. Senator Ibe,
Present.
Chair Kenna,
Present.
D-Leg Morissette,
Present.
Chair Temple,
Alive, present.
Chair Bishop,
Present.
Vice Chair Carango,
Present.
Chair Datlas.
Hello.
All right. Senator DeCara,
Present.
Chair Butler,
Present.
Chair Campbell,
Present.
Vice Chair Cantrell, absent. Senator Castillo, absent. Senator Fintel, absent. Senator Hamid,
Here.
Senator Larson,
Here.
Senator Moore, absent. Senator Rose, Senator Rose.
Let me check, because I know they were having mic problems. They're not here.
Senator Brown,
Present.
Chair Samillo. Okay. Senator Hamayan,
Present.
all right. Senator Nadella,
Present.
Senator Ishan Patel, Senator Patel, are you here?
Let me check. I don't see Patel. Oh, this is AJ Patel. Yeah.
Oh, I'm here.
Ishan Patel's here, but not AJ.
Wait, I'm here.
Oh wait,
Hello?
AJ is here. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
Both Patels are here.
good to know. I am present. Senator Luthra? Senator Luthra? Absent. Senator UC Ferry? Absent. Senator Acosta?
Present.
Chair Borges?
Here.
Senator Duke?
Here.
Senator Hochfelder?
Present.
Speaker Holmes?
Present.
Chair Hurst?
Present.
Senator Kazay?
Present.
Senator Lacasse? Absent. Senator AJ Patel is present. Senator Pullman? ILA Pullman?
Present.
ELA Richmond?
Present.
Senator Sandlin?
Present.
Senator Kairos?
Present.
Pro Temp DeMarla?
Here.
And Deezer Mittal?
Present.
Okay. With 33 out of 43 quorum is verified.
All right. All right. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 8:16 p.m. Bye bye.